Have you ever read a post and thought, this is technically good, but it feels empty? That's not a content problem. That's a nuance problem. And it's the number one reason why so much content, especially AI assisted content, fails to connect. Ciao, y'all. I'm Chiara, content marketer, AI powered content strategist, and the founder of the Museum Creative, where I help creative entrepreneurs simplify their content marketing, amplify their voice, and grow a sustainable creative business without burning out or losing their humanity to algorithms or AI. Today, we're diving into the third pillar of my SONYA framework, nuance, the element that turns good content into content people trust. If you'd like to learn more about the framework and its other core pillars, check out this other video that is linked down below. Here's an uncomfortable truth. Most content today is correct, optimized, polished, and still forgettable. Why? Because it lacks context, emotional intelligence, lived experience, personality. Nuance is what makes content feel alive. Without it, your audience scrolls. With it, they pause. Don't get me wrong, AI is incredible at summarizing, structuring, speeding things up, but it struggles with contradictions, emotional layers, personal judgment. That's why content straight out of AI often sounds overly confident, too clean, or strangely distant. Adding nuance elevates the AI-generated content because it doesn't come from prompts alone. It comes from human discernment, which only you have. Nuance shows up in content when you acknowledge complexity instead of oversimplifying things, share why something worked and when it didn't, name doubts your audience hasn't said out loud yet, bust myths people believe or share hard truths. Examples of nuanced content are like, this works, but only if, here's what no one tells you about, I used to believe this until experience taught me otherwise. Nuance builds credibility and trust faster because it connects with your audience on a deeper, more empathic level. So, how do you add nuance to AI-generated content? Here's my simple 4-step nuance filter. First, ask, what's missing emotionally in this piece? Add personal context, a real moment or a story. Soften absolute statements with your own view. Speak to the reader's internal conflict or big desire. Let me show you exactly how I do it.
All right, so this is how I add nuance to my AI generated content. The goal is to create content that is not just helpful and highly valuable for the information that you provide, but it also has to make your audience feel like involved in the content piece, like you need to show them the kind of transformation, the kind of help and support you can offer them if they decide to work with you, if they decide to buy your products or services. And obviously, when you work with ChatGPT or any other AI tool, the more conversations you have with AI, the better it is in terms of having a better outcome. So the AI already knows you, understands your voice, understands your writing style, understand your point of view, who you are as a brand. So the more you feed AI with all this information and also with great writing samples, the more satisfying the content, the AI generated content will be, so that you will just, at some point, you will just need to do some tweaks here and there, but the content, the draft will be already immensely good, for your purposes, for your goals. So this is the kind of prompt that I created for my email newsletter. I wanted to create a special email for Monday because normally my newsletters are sent on Fridays, and if you want to join, well, you will see a link to join my newsletter in the main page of my YouTube channel. But let's get back to the point here. So I wanted to write this special email, and I give context to AI. I tell ChatGPT what this email is about my beta one-on-one coaching program. I tell AI what I want to highlight, and I highlight a problem that my target audience, which is you, is currently struggling with, right? So I create content around a specific pain point, which is seeing marketing as a second job that overwhelms and frustrates them. And I want to show how my coaching, my consulting is meant to simplify the marketing workflow with proven AI-assisted content strategies that will help them overcome that specific problem. So I want to show them the transformation that is possible if my audience joins my one-on-one consulting program in this case. So I also give some explanations about the beta program, how many creatives are involved, and then I include also some directions on how I want this email to sound, like empathic, and I want it to be intentional and personal for my target audience. And I always tell AI to include a CTA, a call to action, a PS in this case, at the end of my email to invite my audience to take the next step, to take action. So this is the email that AI has created for me, and I'm already happy with the tone of voice and the style, because it reflects the way I write my content, in this case my newsletters. But this doesn't mean that I copy and paste the content piece as is. No, I always read through this content piece, and I always make sure that makes sense for what I want to say, for my audience's interests, and if it's aligned with this sense of transformation that I want to communicate in my messaging, right? And so this is how you add nuance. You have to ask yourself these questions to make your content relatable. And you also have to think if there's anything else that you can add to this message. Maybe, in your content, you want to include a personal story, an anecdote, or you want to include a testimonial from existing customers who have bought from you. So you create nuance by adding more value to what's already created here with AI. So this is the draft. And this is the newsletter that I created and then sent to my audience with a 53.3% open rate, which is pretty high, for the creative museum and culture industry. It's a really good percentage. So it means that my content, obviously, my subscribers are coming in and following my content, so are enjoying what I'm creating for them. It's helpful, and this makes me super happy, of course, but this means that my content is working in terms of the impact that I want to make on them, right? So as you can see, the structure is pretty much the same. It's similar to the one created here in ChatGPT. I sometimes focus also on the form of the content, of the punctuation. I make sure that the content is readable, is accessible, and easy to consume. And that's also another important aspect of increasing or actually bettering the experience of my readers. And then I might switch some words. I might create some maybe I might include, if it makes sense, of course, I might include some emojis or a GIF if I want to make the content more humorous. And for example, here at the end, I kind of switched up the CTA a little bit, because here it would say, If you're tired of trying to do it all alone and ready to finally show up online with clarities and intention, this is for you. I love to support you in building a marketing approach that actually fits your art business and your lifestyle. So I changed this part a little bit. So I kept this first paragraph similar to the ChatGPT version, but here I changed this part because I wanted to make sure my audience would find it easy to take action. So I give them a keyword, reply with beta, to start building a marketing approach that fits your art business and lifestyle. And then again, there's a PS, this call to action, which is already here. Sometimes the PS is also a way to reiterate the main message within your email. And so it's a way for readers to not miss the core message of my email, right? Sometimes we're in a rush, maybe we can't read the full email, and so we go straight to the bottom where the PS can reiterate what I want my audience to do next, which is to hit reply and type beta to let me know if they want to learn more about my coaching. So this is a way to approach the AI content in with the intention of making it better, with nuance, with personality, with your point of view, with your experience, your thoughts, with testimonials, with even some emojis and GIFs, if this, makes the content even more personalized, more, aligned with your audience's personality. So obviously you need to know who your audience is and how they behave, what they love, what kind of content format they consume. You need to understand your audience first. That's the very first step before creating any sort of content. But I also want to share a prompt straight out of my free AI guide, 5 AI-powered solutions for creatives who dread marketing. It's linked in the description box, so you can grab your free copy. I want to show you a prompt that is part of this guide, and I use as well in my content creation. And this is the prompt that you can obviously change based on your goals. And basically, in this case, I ask AI to write a LinkedIn post. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, whatever, and that's where you describe your topic idea. So you're giving AI some clear directions on what to write. That motivates my ideal clients to, and that's where you have to be hyper focused on your final goal. Why are you creating this content? What is it for? You want your audience to send you a DM about a special offer that you are promoting right now. Visit your website, join your email list. Then I add some directions about the how I want to sound, so about my tone of voice. So keep it friendly, encouraging, and under 150 words if you don't want to have a super long content piece, but that's really up to you. You can adapt this prompt as much as you want, and always have your target audience, your ideal clients in mind. That's the main thing, to really create content that is successful and truly inspiring for your audience. I hope this helps, and of course, edit, swap in your voice, and what used to take an hour now takes 10 minutes, because when you have these directions and a clear prompt in mind to share with your favorite AI tool, everything gets easier, and you won't feel like confused or overwhelmed about content creation anymore.
Remember, AI gives structure, but you give wisdom. That's the difference between content that flops and content that resonates. Inside the SONYA Framework, strategy gives direction, originality gives distinction, nuance gives trust. It's what makes your audience think, this person actually understands what I'm dealing with. And trust It's what converts quietly and consistently. So if your content feels flat, robotic, or interchangeable, don't create more. Create deeper with my free guide, 5 AI-powered solutions for creatives who dread marketing. It'll help you use AI in a way that keeps your content human, intentional, and aligned with your voice and brand goals. In the next video, we'll talk about yearning, how to create desire and anticipation without sounding salesy or manipulative. So don't forget to subscribe and join the Museum Creative for more content like this. That's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!